Hey, it's Julia Fiaioni, senior producer of your favorite weekday conversation. You're going to want to listen closely. I've got some tips on how you can get more out of CityCast Portland right now by signing up to be an official CityCast Portland neighbor. That's the new name for the CityCast Portland membership program, with benefits that will make you feel more connected to our wonderfully complicated city, all while you're directly supporting our show, like the coolest neighbor on the block. You'll have exclusive invites to members-only events, things like local tours, volunteer meetups, and happy hours with other neighbors who love to love Portland. You'll also get a curated weekly list of what's going on around town, ad-free episodes on the special Neighbors feed, a thank you on air, and a shout out to your favorite local business or nonprofit. And if you join this week, we want to give you an extra big thank you by sending you our brand new CityCast Portland Neighbor coffee mug, so you'll be sipping alongside us every morning. So head over to membership.citycast.fm today to become a CityCast Portland neighbor. That's membership.citycast.fm.
You can make a difference in someone's life, including your own, with a job in home care. These jobs offer flexible schedules, healthcare, retirement options, and free training. They also provide paid time off and opportunities for overtime. Visit OregonHomeCareJobs.com to learn more and apply. That's OregonHomeCareJobs.com.
Portland's food and drink scene is constantly changing. Your favorite restaurant closes, and a new favorite takes its place. And during the spring and summer especially, there's usually a burst of new spots to check out. Tracking all of these openings and sometimes unfortunate closings is what Meg Kotner has been doing for the past decade or so in her online publication, Bridgetown Bites. So today on CityCast Portland, we're talking with Meg about all the new food and drink spots to check out. It's Tuesday, May 20th. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about. Before Meg and I get to chatting, I wanted to talk mugs. We're in the final stretch of our membership campaign, so you've probably heard us mention this super cool mug you get when you sign up to be a CityCast Portland neighbor. So this mug, it looks like it holds coffee, it holds tea, any liquid really of your choice. It's a white bistro-style ceramic mug with our CityCast Portland neighbors logo on it. And I'm thinking the mug tells the world, or your partner, or your roommate, or your dog, that you support local journalism, that you believe in the city and are tuned into the conversations that make our home so interesting. And I don't know, maybe even better. So when you support CityCast Portland for just $10 a month, you help make it all happen. And you get to drink out of this mug that proves you're a better person than most people out there. So become a neighbor and go to membership.citycast.fm. That's membership.citycast.fm. Do you have a smug mug? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like a mug where you're just like, I'm so great.
I do have some mugs that I really like. One is like, I think has Hello Kitty on it that I really like. And I have a Life is Good mug. And actually, I had an interview a long time ago with Getty Images. And my friend who worked there gave me this Getty Images mug. And it's one of the best feeling mugs I have, which is, I was not expecting that, but I really like using that mug.
Now imagine every of your favorite mugs also made you feel like a better person. I don't know. I just think.
Life is Good makes me feel like a good person.
Yeah. Okay, good. A little smug mug there. All right. Meg, you've been reporting on food for nearly 20 years, 10 of those in Portland. And this is your first time on the show. So I need to know, if you could open a dream restaurant, bar, cafe, or really any place for food and drink, what would it be?
So I know that running a restaurant is really hard on your body. So I probably wouldn't open one because of that. But if I did, I would probably want to focus on what I call international breakfast, which is breakfast traditions from around the world. I just think that would be really interesting, really tasty. So, you know, the kind of breakfast you'd have in El Salvador or in Ethiopia or France or Ukraine.
That would be really fun.
Yeah, I would really like that.
What would you call it?
I don't know, like Eat the World, maybe?
Eat the World. I love that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Have you seen those videos? There's footage of what kids eat for lunch around the world. And I find that so fascinating. And it's usually the Asian countries where I'm like, I would pay $20 for that.
Yes.
Like that looks delicious. Give me that now. Well, so let's talk about some spots that just opened up this month. Like, which are you most excited about?
So I think the opening of Bar Hollywood is pretty exciting. It's filling a space that had been empty for a little while. It used to be the home to Vivienne, who moved up to Northeast Alberta, and now it's a cookbook store and they do events there. It's a little place for people to go, I guess, before and after seeing a film at Hollywood Theater.
It's a David Lynch bar, right?
Yeah, it's a David Lynch themed bar. And it seems to have been the start of a whole new set of things that have gone into motion where Movie Madness is going to move from Belmont to that area across the street from the Hollywood Theater. And there's a food carts that are going to be opening up the street. Missionary Chocolate's a very well-regarded vegan spot. They're going to be opening a location. Sonder Listening Bar is already there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is really great for the Hollywood district, which has been under kind of a bit of a malaise for a while since COVID.
Yeah. Well, it's also that area. That was the thing about going to the Hollywood is that you're just like, what am I going to do afterwards? But I know like other things were opening up around it, but it was never stuff that you felt like, oh, I could hit late night or something like that,
Yeah.
So I'm glad that that area is getting some more attractions for foot traffic.
It's a pretty good neighborhood for being a pedestrian. I lived there for 3 years when I first moved to Portland.
Yeah. Well, what else is opening this month?
So recently the Park Rose Coffee Shop opened up in the historic Park Rose district near Maywood Park and the Sumner neighborhood. We just stopped in during the opening day, and it was just obvious that it was filling a need and a desire that people have in that area. And I think it's going to be just an amazing place to get a cup of coffee and something to eat, but also a place to nurture and encourage community, a place for people to meet, like a real third place.
Yeah.
Which I think the area really wanted. I mean, there's restaurants and places like that, but this is like a real coffee shop. So it's very exciting. Lily Burnett and Peter Irby are the owners, and I think they're going to be amazing there.
Yeah.
So another place that I'm pretty happy to have seen opened recently is the Souvlaki Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Alexandra Vellis-Jones opened it. It's in a little tiny spot across from Big Pink on 6th Avenue downtown.
Oh, wow.
She's offering a small curated menu of Greek food like souvlaki and shrimp saganaki and baklava and a bunch of other things.
Mm-hmm.
It was a home to bunk sandwiches, I think, before it.
That's a small little area then. That's a little hole in the wall.
Yes,
I remember that. Yeah.
Exactly. And so there is some seating, I believe, from the pictures and the video that I've seen. But I can imagine it'd be a great place to take out while you're at work.
Cool. Well, let's take a quick break here. And when we come back, more new restaurants that are opening soon. Paint Care has 3 simple rules to help you paint smarter. 1, buy only what you need. Determining the right amount of paint for your next project can be tricky, but tips like measuring your space and asking your local paint store for advice will help ensure you have enough for your project while minimizing waste. 2, use up what you have. Look around your house and find simple DIY projects where you can use up your paint. Or you could give away your leftover paint to friends, neighbors, or community groups who could benefit from it. 3, recycle the rest at convenient locations like your neighborhood paint store. Paint Care even offers direct pickups for households and businesses with more than 100 gallons of leftover paint. Learn more or find a paint drop-off site near you at paintcare.org/3simplerules.
This episode is brought to you by Temptations Cat Treats. Your cat will come running for the perfectly irresistible Temptations Creamy Puree and Temptations Lickable Spoon Cat Treats. The best time to feed lickable cat treats to your cat is anytime. Feed by hand for a playful moment, in a bowl for a creamy treat, or as a topper to make mealtime fun. Visit TemptationsTreats.com to learn more.
Well, before Meg shares some new spots she's looking forward to, Julia wants to hop on the mic and rap. She says she's really good at it. Go on, Julia.
I am really good at rapping, but you're going to have to pay me an extra membership fee if you want to hear that.
What was that so?
So, as you know, we are in the last week of our spring membership campaign where you can become a CityCast Portland neighbor for just $10 a month. And this means exclusive perks like access to special members events where you get to hang out with us and each other. And you get added to our weekly curated email list where we preview a bunch of upcoming events happening all around town, even in your neighborhood. And I know right now for a lot of people, $10 is a lot. You know, like it's the cost of a carton of eggs these days or a drink at your neighborhood spot. So what we're really asking is for you to think about if you can afford one more specialty cocktail a month to support this show and make sure that it continues. We really do depend on listener support to keep this thing going. And I really want to include all of you in the fun things that we have planned and get to introduce you to new restaurants like Meg is sharing with us today. So if you do want to join us, you can sign up at membership.citycast.fm. That's membership.citycast.fm. And who knows, maybe down the line, one of the perks will be coming out to see me rap karaoke at one of your favorite karaoke spots. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if you know Meg, but that is her go-to song is an Eminem song that nobody
really?
ever wants to hear. It's very aggressive, and she is all about it.
It's really for me.
Oh, man. Well, thank you, Julia. That was the worst rap I have ever heard. It didn't even rhyme, but I appreciate you throwing it down. Thank you.
Well, thanks for having me. I'll see you later.
Bye. All right, Meg, let's talk openings that you're looking forward to in the next few months. What's catching your eye?
So Three Doors Down is reopening. It sold in 2019 and had obviously new ownership. And then it closed last year. And the original owner, Dave Marth, I guess bought it and is reopening it. And it's a really beloved restaurant, opened in the 90s. And the feedback I've gotten after writing about their coming back, people are really excited, very much looking forward to it. They offer like Italian food with like a P&W twist. He's also interested in some Spanish flavors and other things like that as well. Then there's a restaurant called Alma, which is going to bring Balkan and Turkish food to Portland. And we don't really have that much
We do not.
Balkan
No.
food. There's Two Brothers, I think it's called, in Southeast Portland. But this is looking really, really interesting. The person who's going to be cooking is Vedran Jordan. I hope I've pronounced his name right. And it looks like really good flavors are going to come. I love food from that part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think opening on May 22nd, yes, is Yums of PDX, which is a new pizza place offering Neapolitan pies and Sicilian pizza as well. From Miriam Weiskind. She's from New York. And, you know, I really love that style of pizza.
Just New York style, or?
It's like Neapolitan. It's, I think, sort of a modern take on Neapolitan style of pizza, which is
I feel like we have so many Neapolitan style pizzerias here in Portland.
I mean, there's a lot of different styles, but I see what you mean. I really like that style, so I feel like there can't be enough personally. But I think she does like long fermented dough and things like that. And
Oh, man.
she's going to have some like meatballs and burrata and a black and white cookie. So definitely a New York influence in what she's doing.
We did a whole pizza breakdown, like different styles, and I swear to God, every style was like, well, there's a long fermented dough.
Yes. I think it gives a lot of flavor.
For sure, yeah.
A restaurant that recently reopened is East Gleason Pizza Lounge. They shut down to sort of maybe reimagine what they were doing. And they're back in a soft opening mode. And they are known for their Detroit style pizza as well. And it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then another place that I wanted to mention is the Berlou Bakery. Vince Nguyen.
Oh, it's coming back.
Yes, he's bringing it back.
Nice.
Vince Nguyen is bringing back the Vietnamese pastries, sweet and savory, and it's in a great location. So that's really exciting.
Where is it?
It's over on Belmont.
Okay.
There's a hot yai down there, which I also love. And there's a new congee place that opened up in that area. It's going to be really exciting. And it looks like they've had to push their opening back to June, late June. They thought it might open in May. But unfortunately, like a lot of places I've talked to, they have to delay a little bit.
Yeah, what are the delays about? Is it just getting materials, or like is it at all tied to what's going on federally, or is it just because stuff takes time, you know?
I would imagine a lot of it has to do with permitting, whether it's city permitting or OLCC,
Gotcha.
that kind of thing. In Burloo's case, I don't think they're serving alcohol, but I could be wrong. And sometimes it's like your contractors are a little bit delayed. There's a new place that's opening up, Capes and Crepes. It's a game store, like a tabletop and board game store that's also going to offer boba. You know, they ran into some issues that is going to cause a little bit of a delay for their opening. So it's a variety of things.
Right. Well, let's take a quick break here, and when we come back, how the local food and drink industry is faring through this tumultuous economy.
Choosing a bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drink that's all flavor and just 100 calories? Easy. Choosing between creamy vanilla, double chocolate, and sea salt caramel flavors? A little harder. Try the delicious new Starbucks Frappuccino light drinks. Look for them wherever you buy groceries. Start with Starbucks coffee.
Acura's all-new ADX, a compact SUV that isn't just built for one thing. It's precision crafted for everything. To escape the grind with available all-wheel drive. To go with your flow with available Google built-in.
Hey Google, turn it up.
Okay, turning up the volume. And crafted to be heard with an available Bang & Olufsen premium sound system. The all-new Acura ADX, crafted to match your energy. Acura, precision crafted performance.
Take your vibes and go, 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 go.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
I know you focus a lot of your publication on like openings and closings and just the general like what's going on in our food scene. And so I'm wondering from your perspective, like how you think it's going. Like how do you think the food and drink industry is doing right now with so much uncertainty?
Yeah, well, I think in Portland, I'm seeing more openings than closings, and I think that's a good thing. And I'm also seeing people feeling a little bit better about downtown as well.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at downtown in an upward trajectory. I know Nico Vergara, who is known for Nico's Ice Cream, opened a s'mores place, and he's really betting on downtown Portland continuing to get better, continuing to be safer, to have a more robust vibe there. I do think what we talked about before, the permitting process, it's still slow, and that does get in the way. You know, they're looking at the budget now, that the city council is, and they're proposing a cut of like 50-some staff members from the permitting department. So that is concerning.
That is very concerning if it's already slowing openings up.
Yeah, it's both the city, the city permits, and the OLCC also seems, that's a liquor license.
Gotcha.
That also can be slow. I'll talk to restaurant owners who are ready to open, except they need to get their liquor license all figured out, because you can't operate without that. There's a lot of talk about the budget from a federal standpoint, and as I was writing about today the Rocky Butte Farmers Market, also looking at CSAs, and the PNW CSA people talked about how SNAP is under threat.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a huge anti-poverty effort. It's one of those things that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And so there are a lot of people who are going to be at risk from a food security standpoint if this goes through. So I really hope SNAP will not be harmed in the upcoming decision-making as far as the federal budget goes.
Yeah.
But here in Portland, one of the things I really like is that we have this diversity. I mean, Portland is sort of known as this very white city, but we have quite a diversity of food offerings. And, you can thank the food cart scene for that, especially. Like I heard there's a new Bolivian food cart I'm really looking forward to checking out. And I haven't encountered any Bolivian food in Portland before. But there's all these different restaurants that we have that showcase and offer, food from around the world, really. I mean, closer to home, there's the indigenous restaurants of Javelina and Inisha.
Mm-hmm.
It's very exciting. We have West African food with Akadi. There's Cambodian food with the Mekong Bistro. A newish place called Pleasure Mountain has opened, offering Indian food and cocktails made with Indian spirits. Greek food is continuing to make itself known. Of course, we have Mexican food galore. Republica is very well known. We have a lot of taquerias, a lot of different kinds of regional Mexican places. Kikiba on 82nd Avenue. Haitian food. It just goes on and on.
Yeah. So do you think that this is like a barometer, a sense that our food scene is doing well?
I think so. I think it's healthy as far as its diverse offerings.
Gotcha. It seems like you're speaking to these owners a lot more than most people. Like, what do you think City Hall can do to better support these types of small businesses right now, this industry?
I mean, it really comes down to money, to economics. That's really the name of the game. We have like a lot of great marketing aspects. We have Travel Portland, Travel Oregon, influencers, podcasters, people doing video. And I think that helps keep Portland established nationally and internationally as far as being a destination for food. But when a business is broken into, that costs money. And I was just talking to somebody today, a business owner, and they talked about how they are uninsurable because they have been broken into so many times.
That's so messed up because that's not even on them.
Yep. And they make all these efforts. And so, paying for the repairs is on them. So that is really frustrating. And a lot of people will say, oh, yeah, you've got insurance. You'll be fine. But there is a point when the insurer will say, enough is enough. I can't insure you anymore.
And also, can we just stop for a moment and realize that insurance is a scam? I feel like every time I say that, I sound like some sort of conspiracy, podcaster. But I'm like, no, it's a total scam. And they don't want to pay stuff. So anything that happens to you, you're just like, oh man, I'm going to have to argue for months to get this paid back, And then, of course, like you said, you do it too many times and they're just like, nah, you're costing maybe almost as much as you're paying back. I don't want to deal with you,
And yeah, the more you report, the higher your costs go up for your deductible. And
your insurance goes up, yeah.
Even things you have absolutely nothing to do with, they will look at your zip code and see what the crime stats are, and then they will raise your car insurance, say, or your homeowner's insurance.
So you're saying all this is kind of just coming down into our industry.
Yeah, I would like to see, is it possible for the city to establish some sort of repair fund to help businesses that suffer the economic effects of crime? And, I wrote this down. Patrick McKee, he runs Estes, a restaurant that is in residency at Broder Nord. And in the article, he said, when I asked him, what could the city do to help the restaurant owners? He says, is there any way to help us out with rent? Because, of course, rent is going up.
Yeah.
But he says the thing he sees more often are his friends' places getting broken into. So these people are not an island. Their peers, their colleagues know that they are at the end of crime. One of his friends got broken into before they even opened.
Oh, my God.
And he added, I don't know if the city has done or can do anything about that kind of thing. How about some kind of a security presence or helping us buy bigger locks? So I'm hopeful that as we move further and further away from the pandemic, maybe things will get better. Perhaps some of this is related still to the pandemic. I mean, we're seeing places still close in a COVID hangover. Bollywood Theater on Southeast Division, I think, recently talked about how they're closing.
And then people love that place, yeah.
Yeah, COVID was still having an effect on them.
Well, thank you so much for giving us a breakdown. I hate to end on a bummer, but it's good to know that what you said feels solvable, if that makes sense. It's not it just feels like, okay, we know now what the issues are, so I think that would lead us somewhere, hopefully. As opposed to oh, I don't know, people aren't going out to eat. It's just can we just stop breaking into these restaurants? Can someone make it so, no one's breaking into my places? That feels a bit more doable.
I mean, the money part is a big part, but you feel violated on top of it as well. So
yeah,
go to that restaurant you've been meaning to go to because it could close. I find myself kicking myself numerous times throughout the year saying I should have gone there before they closed. So go there, support your local restaurants. They're adding value to Portland. They're awesome.
Well, thank you so much, Meg. I really appreciate it. Before we head out, I just want to shout out some CityCast Portland neighbors that joined. Big thanks to Amy M, Melissa M, Ella B, Emily H, Amy F, Michael S, Mark K, Laddie R, Melissa C, and Ryan L. Also, it's just so great to hear you explain to us why you're joining, like Brian W., who wrote, I appreciate the local journalism and reporting on significant issues in the city. There are few reputable local news outlets left, and CityCast is doing a good job with interviewing smart people like Meg here and asking tough questions. I also appreciate the clear love for Portland. It's refreshing after so many outlets have been very negatively biased towards the city for years. Your work is much needed. Thanks. Well, thank you, Brian. That actually does mean a lot to us. And if you haven't joined, we invite you to become a CityCast Portland neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. We'll send you one of those neighbor-only coffee mugs that you heard Julia talk about earlier as a special welcome gift. Again, that's membership.citycast.fm. Thank you. And thanks again, Meg. We really appreciate all the work that you're doing in the city, keeping track of what's closing, what's opening, and just the pulse of the industry. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. It was great to be here.
That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please share it with a friend, rate or leave us a review. It really does help us out. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.